Hello everybody, today we're making apple and fig crumble, a nice comfort pudding for a cold winter's night. So for our apples, we're using cooking apples and we're using Gala apples so that you've got a different texture and sweetness in your apples. We've got our figs and we've got 50 grams of soft brown sugar. And then for your topping, you need 300 grams of self-raising flour, 150 grams of sugar, and then I'm using Flora plant-based butter because it's better for baking than it is to use a vegan spread. I've got 150 grams. So first of all, we're going to take our apples and we're going to peel them. I say I've got 2 cooking apples and then I've got 6 Gala apples. And then just take the middle bit out. And then we're going to cut them into chunks. So I've cut up our cooking apples and I've got a saucepan on and I've just put a little blob of butter in the saucepan to warm up, and we're going to pop our cooking apples in the saucepan. And then we're going to take our brown sugar and we're going to pop that in as well. And we're just going to let those cook down, and you'll get a nice light caramel off the sugar because you're using soft brown sugar. And like I said, we're going to have 2 different textures. So we're going to cook these a little bit more than we are the eating apples. So while these apples are cooking, we're going to peel the eating apples. And then do the same, take the core out. And then we're going to cut these up into chunks. We've been cooking the apples now for about 5 or 6 minutes, and you'll see that the sugar's gone all caramelised and the apples are gone soft. We're now going to take our eating apples and we're going to pop those into the pan as well. And then just mix around. And then we're just going to leave those to cook down a little bit, and then not as much, and then you'll get a texture of softness from the cooked apples and a little bit of crunch from the eating apples. So while those apples are cooking down, we're going to cut our figs up. So with the figs, we are leaving the skin on. Just take the top off and we're just going to cut them in half and then into quarters. Okay, so we're now going to make the crumble topping. So we're going to take our 300 grams of flour and our 150 grams of butter, which I've cubed up into cube sized pieces, and we're just going to pop that into the flour. And then we're just going to rub it in with our fingers to make a sort of breadcrumby sort of texture. So just take the butter in your fingers and just rub it between your fingers so that it mixes in with the flour. And you'll see that you've now got like a breadcrumby sort of texture, and all the butter's all mixed in. And then we're going to take the sugar and we're going to pop that in, and we're just going to mix that in. And there we have a nice crumbly topping. So you'll now see this has been cooking now for about another 5 minutes. So you'll see that the cooking apples have cooked right down, and the other apples are still a little bit crunchy but have gone soft, and all the sugar's mixed in. So we're now going to take an oven-proof dish and we're going to tip our apples into our dish. We're then going to take our figs and we're just going to pop them around. And then we're going to take our crumble mixture and we're going to tip it over the top. Just push it gently round to the edges so that it covers your apple. And then we're going to pop that in the oven for half an hour on gas mark for 180 degrees Celsius. There we have our apple and fig crumble, all nice and golden brown on the top. And all your lovely apples and your figs inside. So the choice is now yours. You can either serve this with custard, which is what I've got, or you can serve it with cream, or ice cream, or you could just eat it on its own. So we're going to serve it with a nice bit of custard. And there we have lovely warm apple and fig crumble with custard. Lovely to have curled up on a nice cold winter's evening.